everybody, what's up? It's Grace, and right now I'm going to be doing the Stranger Things book tag, which is just awesome because Stranger Things is the best TV show right now, I think, and if you haven't seen it, please go do so. It is just the best thing ever. And Sarah over at Sarah's Sunbeams happened to have this brilliant idea of making it into a book tag, so once I saw that, I was like, I'm doing it. Even if I'm not tagged. I wasn't tagged, but that doesn't stop me. So I'm doing this right now because Stranger Things books. It's great. The first question is epic intro. The opening sequence of Stranger Things is amazing and really grabs your attention. It does. Right when I watched it, I was like, this show's gonna be great. It says, name a book that grabbed your attention from the first page. For that, I'm definitely going with The Girl in 6E by A.R. Torr. This book, I read the first sentence and I was like, what? And then I just kept reading and I didn't stop. This was like book crack. Follows this girl who, she has murderous tendencies, so she's locked herself in her apartment for 3 years and she gets her food sent to her from Amazon and all these weird things, and she happens to make her money by being a webcam girl, and it's just something really interesting to read about. This actually happened, so I think that was interesting. So the first page of like the prologue type thing says, undressing is an everyday occurrence, and then the chapter 1, the first sentence is, I haven't touched another human in 3 years, and I was just like sold, and it was just a crazy reading ride. So I definitely recommend this book. It is way mature, so just keep that in mind when going into it. Question number 2 is Dungeons and Dragons. Name a fantasy world you'd like to experience yourself. And I thought real hard on this because a lot of fantasy worlds are great to read about, but I wouldn't want to live in them because it's brutal and a lot of people die. So if I could pick one, obviously my number 1 would be Harry Potter, because that world is just the ideal world for everyone. I think if you had to choose a world, it'd be the Wizarding World. I think that's like universal for everyone, but also a world that is really interesting. I maybe wouldn't want to live in it, but I would want to experience it, and that is the world in Daughter of Smoke and Bone. This is an urban fantasy, so you're getting our world, and it's set in Prague, which is really cool, and you're also getting this like magical world. It's not angels really. Well, it is, but like different, and there's a lot of history to their world and the war that's going on. It's just really interesting, and I would really like to experience. Not live in it because there's a lot of death, but experience it. Question number 3 is squad goals, and yes, the group, the little kids in Stranger Things are squad goals. I follow them on Instagram, so I see them in real life, and they're also squad goals in real life. I just want to be a part of their friend group. Anyway, the question is, when Eleven met Mike, Dustin, and Lucas, it was mostly Lucas, a perfect team. Name your favorite bookish group or friends. So I could also go with Golden Trio on this because they are goals forever. But I'm gonna choose differently, and I talk about this series all the time, but it is also my favorite, and I cannot really choose another group that I really would want to be a part of. So I'm going with the Raven Boys in The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. You have Ronan, you have Noah, Gansey, Blue. Also, I would want the Gray Man to be a part of it. The mom, Blue's mom, they're just so cool. Just the coolest people ever. And sign me up for that squad and life would be great. Question number 4 is ABCs and Christmas Lights. Joyce Byers goes mad with grief after Will goes missing. Name your favorite mentally unhinged character. Yes, Joyce Byers, with the lights and stuff, when she's talking to the police officers and she's like holding the lights and she's like, my son, he's talking to me through the lights. I'm like, girl, it's crazy, but just stop acting crazy. They're not gonna believe you. I just wanted to sit her down and be like, listen, just talk a little bit not so crazy and they might believe you. But anyway, I love the way she played her. But my favorite mentally unhinged characters would be Nora from Night Film by Marisha Pessl. I wouldn't say she's mentally unhinged, but she's unpredictable. While I was reading, I was like, who is she? What is she? And I really enjoyed her character. Also, I would definitely go with Winter from The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. She was super whimsical and odd, and she saw things that weren't there, and she was just really interesting to read. She's one of my favorite characters in this entire series, and she was just a lot of fun. Number 5 is The Upside Down. Name a book that was opposite of what you expected it to be, and for that I'm gonna go with Nocte by Courtney Cole. I don't know necessarily what I was expecting when I went into this book, but it was definitely not what I got. But it was really cool, I think. The beginning was really great, the middle was okay, and then the ending was just so crazy. I didn't see it coming, and it was just not what I expected it to be. And it follows this girl, her mom goes missing, or not goes missing, she dies in a car accident, and her twin brother are dealing with it. And their father, they live in a funeral home because that's what their father does for a living. He like cleans up, you know, the dead and makes them look presentable for, you know, open caskets and stuff like that. And it was creepy and interesting, and also just the craziest plot twist. Joel, like, can you please turn that down? My niece is in my room watching videos on YouTube. Anyway, yes, this is definitely a book that I just got some crazy stuff from and didn't really expect it. Question number 6 is Mad Scientist. Dr. Brenner likes to get freaky with humanity. Name the freakiest dystopian government you can think of. I was really trying to think of dystopians that I've read that are creepy. Like, obviously The Hunger Games was crazy and what the frick is wrong with people. But I don't read a lot of dystopian books, so the only thing I can think about, I haven't even read it, but this is like the freakiest thing because it's freaky because it gives me nightmares to even think about, but I guess it's not super freaky, just freaky to me, probably to a lot of book people. But that is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, and that's because they had outlawed books in that, and the firefighters in the books burned the books. And that is just way freaky to me, and they're just burning up all the knowledge, and I don't like it. It freaks me out. Number 7 is Demogorgon, and that is name a scary bookish creature that you would not want to come through your walls. I would definitely go with the Grievers from the Maze Runner trilogy. Those things, at least in the books, how they were described in the books, they had like the bulbous, like mushy, gross tentacle, gross, even thinking about it. And I remember reading it and I'm just like, skin was crawling. Also, the creatures in the Madman's Daughter trilogy by Megan Shepherd. I've only read the first book, but let me tell you, there were some creepy creatures in that I wouldn't want to F with. Don't come through my walls because I don't know what I'll do. Don't do that. Last question is cliffhanger ending, and name a book that left you wanting more. And a lot of books end on cliffhangers, especially in series, but I don't want to mention those because that kind of gives away the surprise of the cliffhanger. So I'm gonna go with a book that left me wanting more because I didn't get enough answers with its completed duology, and that is Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea duology by April Genevieve Techoke. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. I don't really remember quite what the books were about. It was really cool. It was about this girl. Her name was Violet. I remember I loved her name because I love the name Violet. And she and her brother lived kind of by themselves because their parents were out exploring or out painting in like Paris or something. I really don't remember all the details. But then this guy comes and he rents out the place next to her. It's just something very peculiar about him that she doesn't know. And it was really cool. I really loved the way it was written. There were a lot of problems what I had with it with the relationships and stuff, but it was cool. And I remember being really excited to complete it, and I got 0 answers. None of my questions were answered at all. And I don't know why that happened, but yeah, I just really wanted more with that duology. So that was a Stranger Things book tag. If any of you want to go ahead and do this tag, go do it. But if you have not seen the show, what are you doing? Stop watching this video and go watch the show because it's amazing. There's only 8 episodes and it's addicting as heck. And you just gotta watch it. Thank you, Sarah, for creating this gem of a tag, and I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.